If you caught our last break, I want to know your feeling on it. We were talking about the toilet seat up and down, and my opinion was that if women want equal rights, they should not be making a big deal about the toilet seat being up. Yeah. Would you agree with that statement, or is that going too far for Bill Barnes?
That might be going a little too far.
So now I was feeling, I said, okay, I get it. I'm just joking that if I have a woman in the house and I leave the bathroom and I realize I left it up, I actually go back in and put it down. But then my buddy Paul, our buddy Paul Odie, he's been on the show before, he texted me and said he once broke up with a girl because she left the toilet seat down.
All I can say is, if men want their women to know that they are, loved and that they are appreciated, put the seat down.
All right, so what kind of creepy thing are you going to do?
Separate bathrooms.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, yeah. And
That's
the men
the
can
answer.
clean their own bathroom, too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Or not.
really?
Or
of
not.
course? Oh, I like Belle.
I'm just going to have a heavy, creepy vibe.
As long as it gets to be cleaned to my standard instead of yours.
I wouldn't. I'm the.
And I've seen the Chulo Peak Learning Center. You make them keep it sparkly up there, don't you?
If there are separate men's and women's bathrooms, I'm totally cool with that.
Yes.
Of course, you know me. I don't do the makeup. I don't do the hair curling thing. So I'm not the kind of person who leaves crap out all over on the sink.
Right.
That's just not me. I don't do that. I like things tidy, and I want it clean.
And you girls with the long hair, and those. My daughters are really bad at this. You've got this 30-inch hair in the sink. Come on, pull it out. I don't want to see that. I don't want to touch it.
I don't.
So what kind of if I'm going to touch the toilet seat for you, what kind of creepy thing are you going to do for me?
We have to clean up after you and live with you guys. We have to feed you guys.
That don't cut it.
Oh, whatever.
Yes?
Do you use your hand? I use my foot.
For the toilet seat?
Yeah, to pound it up and down.
Yeah.
It's just
That's totally fine, as long as there's no dog poop on your foot.
Just know when you sit on Bill's toilet seat, you're sitting on the ground. You're sitting on whatever was on the bottom of his shoe. It could be gum.
No, I doubt it. I'm the hippie chick. I don't mind. I just prefer it down because there's nothing worse, and I know women around the world will agree, there's nothing worse than going into the bathroom in the middle of the night, not wanting to turn the light on because you get blinded, and then you'll stumble through the dark because you can't see on your way back.
And you fall in the toilet?
You fall in the toilet because they left the seat up. I'm sorry, men dribble. You do. You dribble, you splash, and the top rim of the bowl is gross. We don't want to sit on that.
Yeah.
Do you realize that I did not stop by this morning to talk about this?
Toilets?
I'm sorry, I just got to say that. Just got to say that.
Thanks for that working in, because she was soapboxing on us.
Yeah.
Hey, will you grab the calendar, flip over to May, and so we're going to skip our regular break for this session and talk with Bill. But why don't we roll out those local birthdays off the Lions Club calendar, just so everybody knows.
I got to get my handy-dandy light because it's dark in this corner.
Yes, we keep her in the dark.
Yeah, I know.
She's a mushroom.
Hey. Let's see, we have Jenny Richmond, Rana Shelton, Gabriel Caddy?
Okay.
Scott Ludwig, and Cade Frizzell.
All right. People you know and love, you see around town, point and laugh. Tell them we were talking about them on the radio.
Scott was talking about them.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. All right, Mr. Bill Barnes going to host this year's Chwil's Got Talent. What was it? We've taken a couple years off, but the last one was up at your place, the Chwil Peak Learning Center.
Yes, it was.
And you are the GM up there. Is that your official title?
Okay. Yeah, that works.
All right.
Administrator, just
Everything.
the big boss man.
Yes.
So now, are you on the PACA board?
I am not on the board.
You are not on the PACA board, but you've been involved with PACA for how many years?
Park Avenue Players for a dozen.
Okay. About 12 years?
Yes.
All right. You've directed several plays.
Couple of shows.
Yep. You've been in many, many, many more.
Many, many, many more.
My favorite, Arsenic and Old Lace, when you were the
I
police
hear that.
officer. Yeah,
I hear-
yeah.
I hear about that one.
That was one of your, and I brought it up to you several times. But if you saw that play, do you remember when they go to like it's the act change, and the lights come back up, and it's a scene where Bill has been up for all night long drinking coffee, was it?
Talking about my screenplay.
And when the lights come back up, his hair is straight up in the air, and he's electric. And that scene right there when it comes back up, and your excitement, I was just like, wow. But no, you are a wonderful actor. You have the ability, and it's a tough one, and especially in local theater. And it's everything that as far even in radio, we try to talk to the person, and we want to sound natural talking to the person, like we really are talking to them. And it's the same thing in theater, but with a little different twist. Twist is being that character. And being so believable that you suck the people in the audience into your character and convince them that you really are that person. And that is a tough thing to do as an actor. And Mr. Bill Barnes, you have that. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
I love everybody in Park Avenue Players, but I just gonna say you are one of my favorites, and you have that ability to suck people in and make it believable. And that's a gift.
Yeah.
So
Well,
congratulations.
Thank you.
You know who else does that though?
What?
His other half, Deanna.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And when you guys are
She's so
together, those are good
fun.
scenes too. You guys act really well together. So.
She is so much fun to watch on stage.
So is it okay to mention that we are going to be back together like that?
Oh, yes.
The end of the month in Sylvia.
Really?
Opens the Friday of Memorial Day weekend.
All right.
And runs the next weekend
So
also.
you'll be on stage together again.
Yes.
And what are your and Deanna's characters this time?
We are husband and wife again.
No.
So
Well, that's kind of a stretch.
And you guys feed off each other well. Deanna's an excellent actress too, and you guys feed off each other really well, so that'll be cute.
yeah.
So you'll be
thanks.
husband and wife, and what's the dynamic here?
We're a little later in life.
Okay.
That one's tough to pull off too.
Yeah.
And so the job, my career's kind of plateaued and hers is taking off, and so I'm kind of struggling a little bit, and so I find a dog to bring home.
Oh, okay.
And she's not necessarily impressed with that.
Isn't the dog like a real person in this play?
Yes.
Oh, so this is a
So-
comedy.
Oh, yes.
This is my kind of play. All right.
We are working so hard to figure out holding for laughs because it's going to just.
Excellent.
I really think the audience will love this one. Yeah.
Well, and now that you're doing them at the Kchw Center for the Arts and they serve alcohol, you can get a few more. So this is the first Kchw's Got Talent where people will be able to have a beer. Is that not crazy?
That is.
Paca came and said, so, sometimes during events we sell alcohol. Is that appropriate? Because it's a family event. And I said, well, I've been to a few of them, and I've never seen anything out of line. People have maybe one beer or two beers or something like and nothing out of line. And I said, I want to see, I want to do the event, and I want to see Paca make money off it too. So I said, yeah, sell your beer and wine. I said, can we do snacks and stuff too? And you guys don't want to sell the snacks? I said, that's just another thing for us to plan.
I don't have to deal with it.
You guys already have the routine. So I said, yeah, sell everything you can and make some money for Paca while we're there too. So it's a great thing. You come out Saturday night. Doors open at 5:30. Kchw Center for the Arts for Kchw's Got Talent 5. Ooh. And by the way, there will be stormtroopers at the front door. There will be stormtroopers at the front door. I even just don't get all excited, but did you notice on the couch there's two giant laser rifles?
Oh yeah. So the stormtroopers are to enforce you can't bring your own alcohol.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And to make sure no droids get in.
Because we don't serve their kind here.
Yes.
Oh,
I made a
okay.
sign for last night that says Cantina for the bar, and it says Cantina, beer, wine, drinks, snacks, and then below it says no droids allowed. So yes, we definitely have a May the 4th be with you theme for this event. The audience can show up in their Star Wars regalia. We will have a $100 cash prize for the best costume.
Ooh.
All right.
There's a great
We don't have
incentive.
much left in the coffers, but I think we can steal $100 out of the door take to give away the prize money. We're pretty broke after all this, but yeah. But we are back up to full power in time before the show, which is awesome because I don't know
Yes,
if
it
you
is.
I don't know if you realized it. You were here for all the auditions, and we're going to talk about that. But I don't know if you realized. Did you realize where the variety of places the people were coming from?
I noted a couple, but yeah.
I'm totally, because this is the first year we've opened it up to Stevens County. Because we're on the new tower, I figure countywide signal, countywide talent show to go
fair.
along with that.
Sounds fair.
Before, when we were at 1,000 watts, when we're on low power, we only go about Arden to Loon Lake. So I think in the past you had to be in the Valley, Addy, or Chihuahua zip code. So we opened it up to the whole county, and this is awesome because we have a contestant from Wellpennant. We've got 2 contestants from Colville, and we have a contestant from Kettle Falls. Baby, we're covering the whole county with the talent show. So that gives me goosebumps too. Look at that.
Look at those.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
And we had a young lady that was just north of Deer Park too.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool.
All right, and we
Yes.
have one. We have one of our contestants is actually from Germany, so she is outside the zip code, but she is living in the zip code right now as an exchange student. And how cool is that to get to bring an exchange student, a young lady, beautiful young lady who sings like an angel, and she's from Germany, and she'll be in the show too. So there's some cool facets to the show. We were talking tickets, ticket sales. I think we've only ever, we do the online ticket sales and you get a few, but not many.
Right.
They're going really good. I think we're up around 35 seats right now.
Okay.
We're probably going to shut down ticket sales at about 150. And since it's Tuesday, I'm going to say the show's going to sell out. So if you want to go, I would
Today's
not wait.
Wednesday.
You cannot get them at any location in town because we're all volunteers and there's a lot to coordinate here, and to coordinate making it around to the local pickups like Valley Drug and Acres and it's just too much for us. So you have to get your tickets online. You can call the radio station, and if I know you, I will, and you promise you'll be there, and you're not going to stiff us on a seat, because this is really important. I will reserve seats for you, and that's 935-6627. Now, ticket prices, $15 for the general public. If you are a member in the Radio Guild, you get them $5 off, $10. All right, and I've been seeing a little of both. So I've got a projection show is going to sell out. That will be out of seats. So if you want to go to this, don't wait, because I've never seen this many tickets sell this early.
Yeah.
And we've got people, that are going to come from Wellpennant to see Tristan. And we're going to have people that are going to come from Kettle Falls. And we're going to have people that are going to come from Colville. So and we are limited.
Don't wait for the last minute.
Until phase 2 of the PACA Center is complete, we are limited to these 200 seats. So take advantage of it. The thing that's nice about it, if you got the contestants have family from outside the area, maybe even people that used to live in Chihuahua and know some of the people, you'll be able to log on to our website and watch the video stream, and you'll be able to log on to our YouTube channel and watch it live. Now, have you ever been live on YouTube before?
I have never done that.
You are live on YouTube right now, Mr. Bill Barnes.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So
See,
there
wave
you
at the
go.
camera.
There you go.
There's the camera.
All right. So very excited.
Princess wave.
I've got the cameras kind of rearranged today and stuff because we pulled them all out for the auditions, and now all the cameras have to be moved to the PACA Center. So
that was sneaky. I was looking at the one screen and thinking, oh, good, we're not on the radio.
Oh, you're not on the camera.
We're on the video.
No,
but
there you are, right there. So see ya. Yeah. All right. So you're going to be
Jazz
on
hands.
you're going to be on TV and radio and live on stage all at the same time. So
one of the things I want to note is live performances in the theater is always greater. So if you can't make it here, if you're in Germany,
can watch, but we need butts in the seats. It's a fundraiser for public radio. It's supporting all the arts here in Chihuahua, the variety of stuff that you can find here in Chihuahua too, or in Stevens County. So
and maybe even if you can't be here but you watch it, send in a little donation to.
Yeah.
And there is, if you're watching it, there's a way
Yeah.
to help. And
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know if you remember from the shows in the past, we did the People's Choice Award.
Yes.
And this is a good thing to talk about too. So you will be, in fact, I haven't uploaded the new version of the website, but I've got all the links done for the artists where you can click on and donate money in their name. All right, and that is a point system for the artist. The money that you're donating in their name goes to the radio station, except for the person who wins the People's Choice Award. So basically, at the show, we have 13 bags. Each contestant has their own bag. You can walk up, and this is to counteract the judges' votes, and you're going to need to talk about this on stage. So you can walk up to any of those, and it's called the People's Choice Award. So everybody in the audience can go and put dollar bills, $5 bills, $100 bills, whatever they want in people's bags based on how much they like them. If you're watching online, right below the video feed, you will be able to do the same thing through PayPal, vote and donate for your favorite artists. After the last act, we'll combine the online donations, and the person who had the most donations in their name wins the People's Choice Award, and up to $200. So if there's only $150 in their bag, they get $150. It's up to $200. Let's say they have $400 in the bag. The radio station is going to take the other two. We don't want that to be higher than our first place winner. And we have had a problem in the past where people padded it, where people were getting votes before they'd even performed, before the show even started one time. So great for the radio station, but that time I think it ended up being like over $400 for the particular person that won. Hey, and that's great. But we decided to keep it at a certain level. And this is a fundraiser for public radio too, and PACA. So
yes. Right. And so do you have an app to convert euros to dollars?
Usually PayPal does that.
It for you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep, so PayPal does that for you.
So the folks in Germany can vote too. That's the nice thing about. Yeah, that's good. We could be getting what do they have? Rubles? No, they have the Deutschmark. I think in Germany they call it the Deutschmark or the dollar.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm going to have to Google it. But I thought all of Europe switched to the euros.
Oh, that's true.
Common market.
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know.
So now Britain, when they have their Brexit, which sounds wrong. Yes. Did you guys all eat your Brexit today?
Somebody's typing it in.
Yeah.
German currency is the euro now.
All right. So it used to be the Deutschmark. Mm-hmm. So I have some.
Google, I love it.
Google. Google makes me smart.
At least makes me look smart.
Right. So let's get to some impressions on some of the contestants from Mr. Bill Barnes, since he is the host and he kind of witnessed everything and what comes back. Jean did a good job at this yesterday, actually. Daisy had been listening. She commented how well you brought back what you saw that time.
I had a lot of fun with all the contestants, though.
And I'm going to do these in order of the performers. If any of them are listening, they'll remember where they are.
So this is the order in which they're even performing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. First up in the show is going to be One Way Dead End, which is a 3-piece rock band. All right?
Yes.
Yes. So what did you think about the boys, Bill?
Rock or swing?
Oh, that's a tough. It's you know what I got.
It's like rockabilly.
It is rockabilly. Yeah. It is rockabilly. So.
Stray cat strut.
There you go. So that and what a fun little performance. And what did you think about their attire?
It was very good. We actually had some discussion to see if we could change it from very good to fantastic. So I am so excited, looking forward to seeing the little tweaks that they might do to it.
Yeah. They looked really commanding on stage that way, though. So yes. And
can I mention?
Go ahead.
They were called back.
Yes.
Because they came in first thing in the morning.
They were the very first audition on the very first day.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure they were awake because what was it, 9?
Yeah,
9:30?
9:30.
It was maybe a little sleepy. That later, that when they came back at 12:30.
And then we had mixing board problems.
Oh, yeah, we were.
So I was having some audio problems, which I think threw them off, because their first audition, they started off a little bit offbeat, and it was a little rough, and a lot of it was my fault.
Okay. Well, but I want to give them credit, because the performance was here, the callback was here. I can't imagine
what it's going to be when the energy of the show.
Yeah.
And with the energy of the live audience and stuff, I bet they're going to just eat that up. Ooh.
Well, and
it's going to be such a great kickoff to the event.
The show.
Well, and it was fun to watch them getting a little more into the crowd involvement with the second time they came back in. So it was like, oh, I like this.
Stepped it up a notch, and that's what the callbacks are for.
Yeah.
So and like I said, I really felt bad about that one because I had a line that was bad, and every time they got loud, it would distort, and it would actually cut out the audio. Yeah, it was bad. So, but we got it all worked out, so that was good. All right, next on the show is going to be Rebecca Lynn Wright. And she sings a Brenda Lee song, and it was absolutely beautiful. Break It To Me Gently.
Yeah.
And she did.
Yeah.
She did.
it was just like, ooh, I like this. This would be pretty.
The next one on the list, she came in on the second round of tryouts, and oh my gosh, the judges scored her so high. I can't believe it. I mean, I see 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Okay, so which
from
one?
The judges.
What's the name?
There is one judge who had a couple 7s, but let me go one more sheet here. I don't think she scored anything.
He's holding us in suspense.
I am.
Yes.
I don't think
He
she
is.
scored anything below a 7, which means that this is someone to beat.
Would you just tell us who it is?
It's Sarah Curbs and her cello.
Oh, yes.
That's the amazing part of this year's show. Just the variety of things that are happening.
The celloist.
And we've never had a cello in the
Yeah.
show before, so that's very exciting. I like to see stuff like that.
Yes.
A young lady, a very young lady who made it into the show, Charlie Dickey, and singing I Have a Dream. And she did an amazing job. She is from Kettle Falls. So there's our, these are one of our county reps here. And I know her and her mom are just thrilled to be in the show. So
Yes.
Yeah. With hers, it's such a sweet and crisp and beautiful little voice. And she does such a good job of that song that I was just like, oh. It just makes you just kind of want to go, oh, I just want to hug her. She's just so cute and so sweet. And it's just,
And if anything gets on a hand, we're going to be safe with the next act because he is a Marine, Zach Allred. Zach plays guitar and sings, and he amazed us as well. So.
He really did. He was great. That his little bio suggested that he came to music a little bit later in life.
Yeah.
Charlie's 8, and he was still playing Marine.
yeah.
At that age, but talented.
Yeah. He has just a very gentle but soothing voice, but he has power to it as well. And
here's what's unique about this too is he's doing an Alicia Keys song as a guy.
he pulls it off.
Yes, he does.
He really, really does. And so I think people will be pleasantly surprised, but I still think the thing that stood out to me most was as he walked onto the stage, I just went, dude, this guy's military.
Yeah.
And that was my very first question. Are you military? I'm a Marine.
Now, here's another thing that's going crazy about this show that's never happened before. We have 2 sisters in the show that have to go head-to-head against each other.
Yeah.
And if I was a parent of one of these kids and my last name was Curbs, I'd be really proud because they both made it into the show with huge scores. When I look at Hannah's here, again, I see 9s, 8s, 7s. Pretty amazing. So yeah, she has an amazing voice. Let's see what she was singing something from The Greatest Showman, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So another great vocalist that's going to follow up Zachary. And then from people who have seen him in Chihuahua, he was at the talent show in the park last Chautauqua where I approached him and said that we would be doing one. And regardless, I wanted him to come sing on the radio for us at some point. And that's Tristan Scott Krause Saylor. And he is from Wellpennant. And he will be singing Mac the Knife, I believe. I guess he did a bunch of crooning songs. I had to leave the room, so I'm not sure what you guys settled on. I never got an exact note. So
I don't know.
But I see it on here, Mac the Knife. So and he's kind of a little Frank Sinatra.
He is.
Yeah,
So.
literally anything we threw at him from that era, he knew it.
Yeah.
And he'd just sit there and sing it a cappella for us. And we started giving him requests. Hey, well, what about this and what about that?
Wait. Who's we?
Oh, okay, me.
No, it was a little more than that. It was actually all of the females in the room.
Oh yes,
that
it
were-
was. You're right.
Now,
it was
it
all
was.
of us ladies.
It was.
Now, I don't want to throw you under the bus there, but there were a couple points that where you scored him, and when I look at the judges, were pretty uniformed in his scores. But your score, Bill, you scored him. Can I throw out the scores? It's going to embarrass you because I think it's good.
Okay.
And I think it's fine.
That's fine.
I think this is what you saw, and this is good for him. So you saw raw talent as a 9, which is huge. And then overall artistic impression as a 7, but you gave him 6s on stage presence and presentation. What did you think he needed to work on? I mean, obviously it's stage presence and presentation, but what did you think he needed to give a little more out of that?
Charisma.
Charisma. Okay.
Yeah.
The crooners
Yeah.
you just fall in love with them, and
Yeah.
he needs to just develop that more. Young man,
Mm-hmm.
just
He hasn't mastered owning the stage yet.
right.
Well,
And that's really what it was.
he's got 4 days.
Yeah. And I think that's what it was too. It's like, yes, the raw talent was amazing. But those kind of men, when you think of those artists, when they walked onto a stage, I mean, everybody would stop what they were doing and pay attention. They owned the stage with their confidence, with their charisma, with their Casanova-esque type personalities. It's just like, whoa, women swooned and men took note. And I think that's...
Since I'm under the bus, I might as well yell out from there. And I told him this when he was here, I'm pretty sure. When I closed my eyes and just heard him,
It was amazing.
whoa.
Yeah.
So it's just that, like you said, stage presence and just taking it over. And not
know
just
what?
owning the stage, but owning the female half of the audience.
And that's really, and he did that to a degree because all of us ladies were like throwing out our favorite ballads from that era, and he knew them, but I know what you mean. It's, you need to come off as, I'm gonna make all your ladies fall in love,
There you go.
and that's what those crooners did.
Yeah, they were just throwing out suggestions of songs. That's all they were throwing.
Yeah, because
So-
we wanted to hear them.
But the trick is getting them to throw other things.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. After then, we'll have our first intermission. You guys, they're having their own little bromance over here.
Oh, that was good, Bill.
I like that bromance. All right, so then we'll take an intermission at that point, and when we can give people a chance to vote for the first half of the show,
Sweet.
Get some drinks and snacks and support PACA.
And
then
walk
we're-
around,
and
yeah.
walk around, stretch your legs, because it is a long show. Then we'll come back, and it was a 3-piece band, but one of them has guard drills. So and I was really worried that they were going to have to drop out, but it was really cute. So this is Andrew Matherly, and if I can get to the next page, Alexis.
And Fizzy. So which one has...
Fizzy has dropped out.
I love the name.
Oh, yeah.
Fizzy's name is just so cool.
So
But they've reworked their thing, so yeah.
Yeah.
Alexis Tuman. And what really impressed me is when I called her, I was like, oh, no, you lost your guitarist. What are you going to do? And she said, oh, it's okay. I play guitar, too. We just thought it'd look stupid with 3 guitars. And they call themselves Minority. And I would call this, there's this new era in pop music of folk music with almost like a dance hip-hop beat. You know, when you talk about, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Life of Dylan, American authors, and they do weird stuff like bring a banjo in. But they struck me like that kind of group, really fresh, really youthful, with that new sound, and they were good at it.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I don't necessarily follow music like you guys do, and I really thought it was a fresh sound. It's not, I can't do this, like this group and that group that's out now. It's like, no, it was new to me.
Yeah. Well,
It was incredible.
indie folk genre really covers a wide variety. It's like pretty much anything that can't be categorized by anything else. And there's this huge like change just within that category, and I think that's where they would fall.
So they're right after intermission.
Yes.
Great job of putting this thing together.
I think that was your
because-
idea, Bill. Trying to do the flow of the show, and that was a
I
great
was
idea.
It was too.
I was trying to not take the credit for it.
Yeah, I want to give you the credit for it. It's and it was we were going through it and we did kind of, I think it was me, you, and Gene. We did a round trip. Okay, we've got our contestants. What's the best order for us to pull off the show? And one of the great things that you came up with is let's do both the bands after the intermission, so it's an easy setup. And that makes it so much easier on the stage crew that, if it's somebody with a cello or if it's somebody singing, it's just a couple microphones and there's not a lot of delay, which helps you because you're the fill. Once they're done with their act, you go down and you talk to the judges, ask them a couple questions, and then you come up and bring up the next guest and ask them a few questions and let them go. So you're constantly, and you're going to be happy with the setup I came up with. You're not going to have to walk far. We're going to put the judges. We're going to put the judges off to the side, and you'll have walk down the front steps of the stage and be able to get over to them or go off on the side. But
with the railing, right?
Yeah, when they did Distinguished Young Women, they had the judges right in front of the stage.
Oh.
And so everybody's having to look at the back of their heads. Now, I can get them a face shot with the camera, but that's no good for the audience. So I'm actually going to put them on the side of the room.
What?
Turn.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah, the back of Gene's head, not very attractive.
Me and my dreads.
You kind of remind me of one of the ones from Star Wars, the ones that have like the fleshy hair thing. I'm sorry.
See if I can
you
braid
could
them
do
into
that.
horn-looking things.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah. The tech stuff and the me having to fill and all of that.
Yeah.
Significant to me, do not be late. You do not want to miss that first act.
Oh, yeah.
Do not stay outside too long at intermission because you do not want to miss that first act after intermission.
Yeah.
That, as much as the tech stuff, that's what I was looking at.
Is it what's a good kicker to come back into it with?
Yeah.
And that's a good idea, and really it fits both things that we need. The only and we'll get to them in a minute. There'll be the toughest maybe technical setup actually is going to be Ray and Dave, or Dave and Ray. Just because they got some extra equipment and stuff, as far as quickness or whatever, that'll be a spot where we'll talk about that later. But the technical aspect of it came better. I think the flow of the show is going to be better than anyone we've ever had before. So
if you've been disappointed with flow before, know that Scott has worked hard to solve that.
Yes.
Do not use that as your excuse to not show up.
Yes. and years in the past maybe where we had like 8 singer-songwriters, that gets a little tough. And how do you get flow out of from one to the other? But we've got such a variety, we could really mix it up to where each act gets to stand out on their own. It doesn't have to feel like you're watching the same thing again. Each act is going to be different and stand out. And then next, after the opening act in the second part of the show, we have Katrina Carlin, who was a total surprise. Came in at the last minute on day 1 of auditions and just blew us out of the water. She had her son with her who decided he didn't want to perform. He let mom go by herself, and she picked another song and did it by herself, and amazing, huh?
Now, this woman blows my mind. She is the stay-at-home homeschool mom to 5 boys.
Wow.
She has never sung in public before. She was amazing.
You couldn't tell.
Never before. I was thinking that she had done stuff a little bit when she was young.
Probably in school.
We'll have to double check that.
Okay.
Maybe in school, but nothing in public like this.
Because that was a piece that was near and dear to my heart with her, was the fact that, I did theater in high school and a little bit after, and then took like 30 years off.
Really?
Yeah.
30 years? Wow.
Wow.
And then got back on stage and just fell back in love with it. So, that taking time off and refinding a passion.
Yeah.
And she has...
What was really cute for me is she sang beautifully. I mean, the hair stood up on my arms and all that stuff. But she was very, very nervous. So you could tell that. And I'd gotten to visit with her a little bit beforehand, so she was comfortable with me. But she was scared of the rest of the judges. But she looked horrified, and she would look up from singing because she had the words memorized. And she'd look at me. And after she looked at me a couple of times, I said, "Oh, I'm going to use this." And she glanced because she wanted to look out at the audience, but I think I was the only one she was comfortable with. And she looked up at me, and I started dancing while she was singing. And then it dawned on her, I should be moving on stage. And she started dancing with me. So I thought that was really cute.
Yeah. Well, and I noticed that the sweetest smiles that she had while she was singing was when she'd look over at her boy, too.
Yep.
I was just like, oh, it's the mom thing. I love it.
Yeah. Did she have the music stand? Is she the one that used the music stand? the lyrics?
I think she...
No.
No.
Okay.
No, she had it
Nope.
memorized, I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to remember. Did she have it the first time and then she put it down and sang it again without it?
No,
Oh, no, that was somebody else.
That was
Okay,
somebody
yeah.
else. That was
Yeah,
somebody else.
so, yeah,
Okay.
she had this one memorized. And I remember
Sweet.
asking her, so is this a song you sung to all your boys when they were babies? Yes. Aww.
Now,
It was just amazing.
our
Yeah.
next act, Esther McGuinn. And I think Esther was a callback that stepped up her game, too, wasn't it?
Yes.
And Esther, she's got a great voice, but she was up against some really, our runner-up field, the people that are right at the end of the list that didn't make it in the show, they're all neck and neck.
Yeah.
In the scoring. It was really tough. But Esther inched a little bit ahead because she threw some theater in there, and I think the judges liked it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, the work that she did in
Yeah.
that week.
Well, and that she had not just standing up there singing, she was doing a little skit along with it. It
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was
It'll
an
be fun.
act. It was a singing act. Yeah.
And then Samira
Carol Burnett.
No, she was doing something from a Disney movie.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but just kind of never mind.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's kind of Carol Burnett-esque type.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very
Yeah.
much there. Almost
Mhm.
there. Almost there.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I finally caught up.
Okay.
Hey, you did good. It
Or
usually
fell
takes
back
a lot
to me.
longer, Bill. Sorry, Jim. All right. Samilla Hope Dix. She is the young lady from Germany that is living with the Snyders this school year. And she will be singing The Climb.
Yeah.
All right. And we were totally amazed. What a pretty
Yes.
young girl. And that's going to be cool
Yeah.
to have a foreigner in our talent show. I love it. And then, what was it? I think year 2, we talked to Bradley's Taekwondo into doing their demo at the time on stage. That time they had a gal in their group that was amazing. And I remember one scene in it where she came out with a staff with like razor sharp points on both ends.
Yeah.
And she was doing stuff like spinning it around her neck and flipping through the air with it. And the show was so amazing. And after I was done, I went to Sam and I said, wow, I think if you guys would have came in as competitors instead of a highlight, you would have won.
Right.
Because it was an amazing demonstration. And she said the kids did want to compete. But I said, let's just do the demo. So this year I went back and said, hey, I need a special demo for the show, but I want it to fit the theme of May the 4th be with you. And she said, we can do that. She says, well, the kids would like to enter the competition this year. And I said, awesome, you should.
All right.
And here comes Bradley's Taekwondo into Chihuahua's Got Talent. There you
All
go.
right.
Now, I know all you families out there, you've got all those kids in Bradley's Taekwondos. You better bring lots of dollars. Vote. And we were talking about, I said, with all the kids, so like you have one contestant and you have their family to vote for that contestant. So this, for the People's Choice Award, this is a tough one. Because now here, what do you got, 12, 13 kids and all their family members? And they can all vote online and in person, too. So there's kind of an upset there. But the rules are the rules. So.
Yeah, well, and there's another aspect to that, though, because 4 of the kids in Bradley's Taekwondo are also performing
In the talent
in
show?
the talent show as other,
In other acts.
Yep.
So,
One Way Dead End, and then
Yep.
the Curbs Girls.
Yes. So,
They are all in the Bradley's Taekwondo as well.
That's funny. It's funny the amount of kids I see. Like I was on the Bradley site getting some information the other night, and they had pictures of kids up there, and I'm like, oh wow, oh wow. Oh, wow. I can't believe all the kids that go through that school. Mm-hmm. All right. I think,
And adults.
And adults,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yes.
Oh, she does an amazing women's self-defense class.
All right.
I took it at school.
And I guess...
I know a young man that has started to get involved in it, and you can just see the side bit,
Yeah.
the benefit of it.
The difference in the confidence levels.
Yes.
That right there, confidence and having faith in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the last one, he just picked up PACA's Best Show of the Year. It's Dave DeVoe, the singing fire chief, and his wife, Ray. And I'm really surprised that they didn't call themselves, he went with his what he started with, even though Ray's came, he started off as just the singing fire chief, and now his wife, Ray's part of the act, but he's still keeping all billing for himself. That's a man's man, Dave. I love it.
So I remember saying when they came and tried it, I said, no, it needs to be Ray and the singing fire chief.
I think you should do, because all the hip bands now, they have featuring on them. So it should be Dave DeVoe, the singing fire chief, featuring Ray. Just the single name, so that's yeah, extra cool. So you guys want to use that in your act? You owe me some creds there. So, all right, and I believe they're singing "Hearts on Fire." Yeah, they played 2 songs, and one of them had to do with the bar, and I think we talked them out of that.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think that was it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't remember on that.
Not quite sure. So, well, before I type the whole show up, I better figure that one out.
Better ask them for sure.
So it wasn't the bar. It was just.
Was it a drinking song?
It was the cheating song.
The cheating song.
And
they did a cheating song. Yeah.
I mean, if you want detail, it was an old Eddie Rabbitt song that he had done, and with the 2 of them up there, it really needed to be retooled as a duet.
Okay.
And I remember we were talking about originally with their name. If it's.
And then I remember we asked that because people were supposed to bring 2 songs, and we asked them for the second song, and they did it, and the whole judging panel was like, "That's your song." So yeah,
good. So if you're listening, let Scott know for sure which one you're going to do.
Because now we're confused. But, very excited to have them in the show. And I said this yesterday. I don't mean to keep throwing him under the bus, but he was kind of worried. He says, there's a lot of kids in the show. And I don't, I've been doing this for a while, and I'm going to feel bad if I beat kids. And I said, you shouldn't. I said, that happens every time with the show. We always have a mix of adults and kids. And I'm sure he felt bad about it. I don't think he ever expected to win. But remember the year Dave Johnstone was in the talent show. You were a judge.
Yes.
Dave won the show.
Right.
And some of his kids were in that he taught music to. Were in the show. And he thumped them all down. But, at that point, too, I just think, you want to be part of it, be part of it. And the fact that you won is awesome. That's creds to you. Take it and own it and love it, man. That's it was the judges that thought you deserved it, regardless of whatever else might be out there. And that's kind of what I told them. I said, you know what? We're thrilled you guys are in the show. We want you in the show. Please don't leave.
No.
So they said, okay.
and there's part of it where just the experience for the younger performers, just being in front of a crowd. Yeah, winning's great, but gaining that experience and coming back the stronger the next time. I mean, how many times does that happen?
Look at Skylar Colvin.
Yes.
I think he tried out for the first show and maybe even didn't make it. And he came back and he tries out for the second show and he makes it, but doesn't place. And then I think he comes in on the 3rd show and he wins it. And then he comes back in the 4th show and teams up with the guy, with Shannon
with
McNeil.
year one's winner.
Yeah, with year 1's winner. And teams up with him, and we have year 1 and year 3 winner come back together as basically a trio.
It was a trio, yeah.
And win it in the 4th year. That's amazing.
Yeah,
and to watch Skylar progress over the years, where he looked like he would wet himself when he was on stage. To be let me finish.
He was scared.
He was
nervous.
He was. He looked like he would wet himself on stage when he first started. To come and master the crowd and have his wireless stuff and get right up there and play the violin in your face. It's amazing to watch that. I mean, that's why I love doing the transformation and getting to watch those kind of changes.
Yeah.
That's really a really cool benefit of doing the show for these many years.
He and Shannon really pulled off the dueling violins with that Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Yes.
And to have the younger brother in the back playing the piano, I mean, they were awesome. I mean, they had everybody just so excited. And that was just, I think that was like one of my favorite performances over the years was their dueling violins with Pirates of the Caribbean,
So my advice, I appreciate what Dave and Ray said, but my advice is to you is just what she's saying about what those kids pulled off in year 4. You don't know what's going to happen, Dave and Ray, so get your game on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I just had this image.
What?
In a couple of years, Sarah and someone with dueling cellos.
Oh, have you seen those two guys on YouTube? It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I really have. I got to check it out.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
amazing. There's two guys that do that. They got tons of videos, and it is,
Okay.
yeah, I would love to see
The
that.
cello
on stage.
guys. Yeah.
So a great show there wrapped up. After
Yeah.
after Dave and Ray, how things will work, just for people that are thinking about coming and see, kind of the flow of the show too, is we will take our second intermission at that point. At that point, it's a longer intermission, and here's some cool stuff that's going to happen. It is a long show. We're going to give you several breaks, and there's going to be, drinks and food, so it's going to be okay. But it does usually end up being around 2.5 hours. I think one year we hit 3 hours.
We did.
But we've got some quick changes. I think it's going to go a lot slower. Bill's got some ideas for dealing with the judges, and we don't have some of the issues that we had last time. We're looking at kind of judging in a different way. Where we talked about this is in past they'd come to the judges and they'd ask what the judges felt about it, and the judges kind of give it a critique. And when you look back at that, since this isn't America's Got Talent or American Idol, these people aren't coming back to compete again in next week or whatever. This is the final. So it really didn't make sense to judge in that manner, and me and Bill kind of talked about it. The judges are going to take it more from an aspect of what did you see in the beginning and how much they changed, because that gives you a better idea of what they saw and how they might be scoring them, and that's the way we're going to go with that. So after the last act there, then all the People's Choice Award, all the money in the bags and online gets counted, and all the judges' scoring gets totaled up, and we come back with the winners of the show, and that is very, very fun. During that time where things are getting counted, we need to have some fill, obviously. So we have Eric Stevens is going to do a magic show. It's going to be a shortened down version of the show he does, because he's going to do like 5 to 10 minutes. Very, very cool to have a local boy back in town and be able to show us his craft. And we've got to see it on the radio before. He did magic on the radio. I think it's the first time it's ever been done in the country. It was phenomenal. I mean, it was thinking, how could you do magic on the radio? Eric pulled it off. I don't know how. It was amazing.
He's very descriptive.
Yes.
And and see, I've been fortunate enough that I got to watch him growing up through high school, and he would try a lot of his card tricks on me on the band bus when we'd be traveling to different band events and whatnot. And he knew that I would sit there and watch very carefully for the slightest little catch, and I'd be like, "Yep, I saw that." Okay, so he'd go back and he'd work on it some more, and then he'd come back to me again. Okay, see if you can catch it now. And I will always feel honored to be one of those people who got to help be instrumental in helping him fine-tune his craft. And we talked about it on the phone the other day, and I was just like, it was awesome to watch you never give up on a dream that a lot of people wanted to put you down for. And I'm glad you never gave it up, because look at you. You're now performing in places where the masters have performed.
Yep.
And he's just enthralled with that.
So, and Eric Stevens is also one of our judges.
Yes.
And what's really going to be nice is for the people that get to watch, Eric perform, the contestants that get to watch Eric perform. You are going to see and he probably goes, "Scott, why did you say that on the radio?" You are going to see a true performer. I mean, that boy, you could tell growing up he had it, but thanks to his parents and who supported both their kids through theater and their love of that, and Janet McLaughlin, I'm sure Eric would say had a huge effect on him. But what an amazing performer. I couldn't believe it. I'd come back a few years after high school and sit in on the morning show and do magic for us. And I was just like, wow, he's the dude. When did Eric become the dude? So we've got Eric Stevens, and then four of Bradley Taekwondo students that play with sharp-edged weapons will be doing a May the 4th Be With You demonstration themed performance. Just imagine what that might entail. So that's what I'm really waiting for right there. I'm going to love it all, but I really want to see the Star Wars skit.
So can I give him a little teaser?
Sure.
See, there's a reason I haven't gotten a haircut.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, really?
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe.
All right. So
And I see some facial stubble going on here too.
have you been
It
behind
might
the
go.
scenes
It
dealing
might
with
go.
Bradley's or something?
No. Hey, I'm not saying.
All right.
So
Say more.
a teaser that
Wow.
There's going to be something.
Something. Now this is
something.
Wait a minute. I'm the producer. I'm supposed to know everything that's going on in my show. hey. But anyways, one of the reasons I was going to cover this in the beginning of it, I didn't think we got into the play stuff, whatever. But when I was thinking, I don't want to do the show. I didn't want to host the show again. I'm out there too much, and I think other people deserve chances to that. And I had sat back and I thought, who would be an excellent host for Chihuahua's Got Talent? Who do I think would command the stage and feel like that master of ceremonies? Feel like what's the guy from American Idol?
Ryan,
I don't watch that.
Could pull off doing the Ryan Seacrest kind of thing. And you were the first person that came to my mind. And when I brought it up to you, and you said, "Yeah, I'd love to do that." I know you got some nerves over it, but dude, I think you're going to be awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, right. Like I told you, I said it's just another role. And you're really good at roles. So just now you're the master of ceremonies.
Okay.
Own it, baby.
Own the stage, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But one of the things I was thinking, with the May the 4th be with you and stuff, and I was deciding whether it was a good idea or not, because as Obi-Wan said, who's the bigger fool, the fool or the fool who follows him?
All right. So
deep.
All right.
Deep.
And you're referring to me as the fool? Since I asked you to do it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but you see, we're all following. So. Yeah.
That's the kind of thing, though, I will take credit for. Some of my ideas are kind of fun.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
But actually,
as long as they don't land us in jail.
Yeah. I'll give kudos, though, always where they belong. The idea for Chihuahua's Got Talent came from Shelley, my ex. I mean, she's the one like, hey, let's do American Idol, and let's do it Chihuahua style. But yeah, I'll give her credit where credit's due. That was her idea. So was Boo Fest. Now we handed Boo Fest off a couple years ago to the Chihuahua Chamber of Commerce. But that whole thing of doing Boo Fest, of the kids coming out and trick or treating safely at the businesses, and then we had the chamber stopped it. I'm going to bug them this year to bring it back. We had the costume contest and the free hot dog feed with Kiwanis, what people really like too. Right. So she had a couple great community events. She was really good at that kind of stuff, and this was kind of her brainchild. And I can come back now. She's moved off to Spokane and stuff, and she's helped in the past years keep the show going. And it's kind of cool though that I have this template where I can say, yes, I'm the producer, but it was all been done before. It's like pulling off a Chautauqua. I'm just looking at the map. I'm doing what we did last year and that kind of stuff. I'm trying to put my own tweaks on it, and then I've got great help. Everybody that's decided to be judges, you helping with the show. I mean, sitting down and doing our little round table the other day, and you've got all that theater experience, and you really, I think you really tuned in the show in a way it's never been tuned before. You're setting it in the flow and stuff like that. It really was valuable, and I appreciate your input on that, because I do think it is Chihuahua's Got Talent 5. It's going to be the best one we've had. I know, it is. Get your tickets now, kchw.org, northernlightspublicradio.com. Don't wait, because you might show up the door and not be able to get in. So. And the way ticket sales are going right now, I'm going to say, you might not be able to get into this show. All right, so.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're coming out of all of our repair. We had music licensing, transmitter blowing up, tenant problems. We're through it all. We have one bill left to pay. So come, sell out our show, please.
And I've seen the bank account. It's pretty low right now.
Yeah, and it's really nice. The antenna system was done first, and the company that did it said, hey, take 30 days.
All right.
So I went, okay, I'm paying for the transmitter, because it was that was $2,800. So I paid for the transmitter, got it shipped back, and everything. We're back up, everything's installed, but I still have a crew to pay. So
all right.
So yeah, buy those tickets, baby. We need it. All right.
So hey, I will donate my salary.
You will?
Yes.
Well, that's good, because I was not going to pay you. He didn't know there was no fee.
Darn it!
No pay. Yeah.
What?
It's just the glory of going, hey, you know what? I hosted a show live on YouTube. A big show.
bucket list item.
Bucket list item.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I can help you with your bucket list item.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
I
and
do appreciate it.
I'm really thrilled. I've got all the the thing about the Center for the Arts that's nice is it comes with a light person and sound person if you need them. So those 2 key posts I have filled, and I've actually had one of the DJs said, "Hey, I can help," and I said, "I don't think I have anything left to do." And then I thought about it. I said, "The only thing I need is I need one more person in a stormtrooper outfit." And he said, "Oh, I'll do that." But it was Jungle Jim, and his beard, hangs down about 2 feet.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would. It'll look funny with a big white beard hanging out of a stormtrooper mask. And Jim, I think if you rolled it up and tufted in the mask, you'd be really uncomfortable and itchy. So I am looking for a medium-sized adult to fit into a stormtrooper uniform.
Okay.
And it does come, I painted them yesterday, it does come with a giant laser rifle.
A laser gun, huh?
I was, not laser gun, laser rifle.
Oh, okay.
It's a cannon.
It's such a gun.
I mean, yeah, the stormtroopers are going to look awesome at the door. So, yeah. All right, and we're looking for people to dress up. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
We're not going to have the donation table. I wanted to do as another fundraiser a Star Wars donation table of items, and I asked for donations from people's collections over the past 3 weeks. I've gotten one from Brandon and Kathy, and got us a lot of stuff. It's not enough for an auction table. So right now, I'm kind of depressed on that. I was going to kick in a really nice piece, but if there's, I'm not going to just have an auction table with 3 items on it. That would look stupid. But last call there. We'd love to have a Star Wars memorabilia auction, but we don't have enough items.
Just kind of a silent auction thing?
Yeah, just kind of a silent auction where you come up and bid on. I have a original from 1976 or what would it come out, 74, 76, stamped on the bottom. It's number 27, and it's an Obi-Wan Kenobi beer stein. From the original Obi-Wan. And I was going to put that in. But it looked dumb to have an auction table with 3 items on it. So, but if somebody's got some Star Wars memorabilia, you want to start kicking it to us, 935-6627. I will do the memorabilia table. I just thought it'd be kind of a fun thing, but we just didn't get enough donations for it. So
okay.
I also went out and hit a couple of the groups Star Wars groups in Spokane. One of them shows up to events. I mean, they got full regalia, Darth Vader and all this stuff, and tried to invite them to come crash our show. That I was looking for extra staff that would be in costumes,
right?
And not one of them responded. And I was like, "Oh,
I wonder if they have a different gig."
There could be. It could,
May the 4th.
It's May the 4th. They might have already had their own party planned or something. That's what I was thinking. I threw some gas money in there, but no pay. So, who's going to drive to Chihuahua? But, I'm still holding out hopes. So.
Unless they could win the costume contest.
And I can't remember his name. We had a gentleman. He moved from town, and I'm really depressed because he had 3 of the coolest Star Wars. I mean, like 5 like original movie set Star Wars outfits. They were pretty awesome. I think you've probably seen them on the streets at Boo Fest. Yeah, some really cool
I think
outfits.
my favorite one was when he was dressed as one of the Sand People. That one was so cool.
If you do have a cool Star Wars outfit like that and you would loan it to the radio station for the event or come wear it yourself, we would love to have that. If you'd be one of our characters that stand in a corner or something like that, I'll get you a free ticket into the show. We'd love to have that kind of help. So once again, 509, in case you're in Spokane. We're back in Spokane now. 509-935-6627. Also reports yesterday, we had talked about our friends, our listeners and members that are up on the Canadian border, and they were the first person I called to see how it was coming in. They said crystal clear, and I had a message on my phone from him yesterday, and I liked it because it sounded military. And he said, yeah, it came down from, I won't say where he lives, but it's on the border, all the way down to Colville, and you guys are 5x5. I think that means we're flying perfectly. All right. You guys are 5x5. I love it. And then Brian Moore in Deer Park. One of our problems, we go way past Deer Park, but Deer Park's kind of in a hole. We got some scratch there, something we want to clean up. And Ryan Moore said he hadn't tested it indoors, but in his car, best signal they've ever had in Deer Park.
All right.
And he said, I hear a little crackle once in a while, but I would not change the channel because of it. And I was like, sweet. So this new antenna system, we get a few more watts of power, which is always helpful. And we have a perfect antenna pattern now. Mm-hmm. It makes a bubble. And baby, you guys are all inside the bubble. If you're listening, you're in our bubble. Yep. All right. So anything else either one of you want to add to the show? That was wow. We actually went past 9.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm excited. That was like over an hour of lead in for the talent show. I love it. Yes. It's KCHW Chihuahua. I missed the legal ID. We'll get that in there. For tomorrow's show, it is First Thursday. Jackie Brewer in the studios with Mr. Tim Nelson, who puts together our First Thursday Art Walk. And Jackie will be bringing in some of her art. We've never had Jackie on the radio. I'm very excited for that interview. Don't miss it. And don't forget, you can watch on YouTube, right on your smartphone. We'll broadcast that whole thing live, and you can check out Jackie's art. And I believe they probably have the artist speech tonight at the brewery. That usually goes on a night before, since we don't have time for the community calendar. And then you can catch her in the morning, and then you can catch all the artists and the beautiful work downtown on a Thursday night. And the weather's going to be awesome. No rain, about 65 degrees. Going to be a beautiful evening tomorrow on the streets of Chihuahua.
Sweet. Indy and I have now made that First Thursday Art Walk kind of like a little mother-son date night thing, and he loves it.
All right.
Yeah,
we love probably hates you talking about it, though.
No, he loves checking out the art. So, yeah, it's just one of those fun things.
All right, all right. All right, as we wrap things up, I want to remind you that your KCHW Morning Show is brought to you by God-Fearing Brothers and Chihuahua Floor and Wall, and we love them for supporting public radio.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bill Barnes, host of Chihuahua's Got Talent 5, Saturday night at the Chihuahua Center for the Arts. Doors open at 5:30. Show starts at 6. And what did you say? You don't want to miss the first act, right?
You do not.
All right. All right. Thanks so much for being with us. We will be back tomorrow at 7:15. And away we go.
It's 9:09.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 1.